So basically, like, that's how she took some money from me. Like, she scammed me out of some money with her little hair product stuff. And yes, I'm not the only one. And this ain't the first time I done said something. I always say something throughout the years, especially because when if somebody takes something from you and you got to constantly see them, like, even if it's like in your own city and somebody takes something from you and you constantly seeing them, you can't tell me you're not gonna say nothing. Like, I constantly had to see her, like, all the time, constantly had to see her on social media. So sometimes I get on there and say some stuff, sometimes I let it go, sometimes I get. And I mean, every blue moon I say something for the simple fact, like, you hurt me, and every time I see you I get reminded of it. Why you shouldn't be reminded of it? So I be trying to remind her, like, yeah, like, you did this to me. And she seen, at one point I was trying to, like, find peace with it, like, because when traumatic things happen to me, I sometimes gotta find peace somehow, some way. My mother was killed when I was younger in front of me, and then the guy who did it ended up committing suicide in front of me as well. That was so hard for me to find peace with, because who gonna apologize to me? Like, his family apologized, but it was never enough. So the same token, this other traumatic thing happened, and, like, even though to y'all hair might not have been a big thing, but it was a big thing for me, like, to lose my hair and to see my kids and the way they looked at me and was just, like, scared and whatever. Because again, I was on a fixed income because I had to file for disability because I couldn't work. I was in the hospital for 6 months, 6+. And, like, even though other people who she did like that, because I'm not the only one, they might not, like, be pushing it to be like some, you did me like this or you took from me. Like, they might be not be pushing it, but somebody, like, you really hurt me. So it's like, your past gonna come back eventually. And I'm gonna forever, like, remind you until I had wanted an apology. At this point, I don't want it. I had stopped wanting that shit. But, like, I had, like, wrote her when I was going through, like, this healing process, and I was trying to explain to her, like, how I felt like she did me, and, like, trying to see, like, if she gonna apologize or if she got any sympathy, and I ain't get none of that. And I know she seen it. It got to the point where I would put it on my story, and she was added to my favorites, and, like, she's seen it on my favorites. So you can't tell me you ain't see it. Like, you just can't. And if y'all want to see that, I'll post that too.